Hello guys, welcome back. In this episode we'll look at showing the replies to posts. Yeah, let's get started. First of all, what I want to do is I just want to change this up a bit because right now we're just listing them underneath each other, but I kind of want to have this nested out. Yeah, I'll just go to my backend and modify this a bit. So I'll make this a array and I'll pass in this query. And then what I'll just say query where null parent comment ID, and then I just want to order these by created at ascending, so we get the newest one or the oldest one first. And yeah, that's it for that, because we want to obviously check that we don't get we don't want to have first a parent comment ID, something like this, showing here, and then also nested inside of where it belongs. So inside of the comment, we'll just change it up and add a custom attribute. So we'll say public append, protected appends, comments, and then we'll say public function get comments attribute, and then we'll return this has many. Foreign key will be parent comment ID, and the local key will be just ID. And then we'll order this by created at, also ascending, and then we'll just get them. So if I now submit this off, I got an error. App models, this should be comment. Alright, so now if I check, you may not have this, but oh. So now if I check, you might not have this, but I have this. I have added some posts which relate to this one, relates to the previous one, and this one relates to this one. So now I have this nested inside of here. So I have this first nested reply, and then inside of here another one. So yeah, that's that for our backend. So now if I just want to look at where we want to use this loading thing. So we'll go into our JavaScript and we'll go to post, and I will just want to add some JavaScript. And yeah, what I also want to do is I want to add a breadcrumb, just to have something to go back to our show post screen. So this is going to be home, a router link, which is going to go to home. This one can go, and then this is going to be the post title, which yeah, we'll fill out later. So let's see. Alright, we have that in. Want to add some styling for that. Alright, so yeah, we'll look at fetching this post. So we have a data function which returns an object, and we have a post object which is empty by default, and then we'll just say get post, and then in here we'll say also want loading to true. We'll say mounted this dot get post, and then here we can say this dot post dot title. If there is no title and it's not loading, then it's not found. otherwise we'll just echo this needs to go. Alright, so loading never gets set to false, so that's correct that that's showing. So I just set loading to false. Then it says not found, and that is going to be called when the loading is done and we don't have anything to show. So now I just want to check out how we're going to implement this loading. I'm just going to copy this and place it right here. Is full page, active sync, and I'll just say loading. So now we can see that it is loading. So if we now implement the method to actually get the post, so we'll say axios.get, we just check our route. I think it's just common slash the ID, yeah. Common slash this dot route dot params dot ID, and then we'll do something with the response. Alright, so we'll set, I'll just handle that error in a moment. So we'll say this dot post equals rest dot data dot post. So if we now take a look, it loads and then it shows the title here. So then if I just catch this, error, I just want to set loading to false and console.error error. So that's not going to error, so we'll be fine for now, because that is, that's not an error. So I also want to set the title of this document to display the post. So in here I'll just say document.title this.post.title. So now you can see the title changes over to testing again. Alright, so now we want to look at how we're going to display our comments. So what we'll do is we'll just create a comments component, which we'll place in here. Comments.view, and inside of that we're going to template script, and then we're just going to import that here, comments from /component/comments. Comments. Alright, so what we want to do is we want to loop through the comments, and then we want to, if there are more nested comments, we want to call this again. And yeah, if we loop through them, we want to echo the comment, which we will put in a separate component, and then yeah, we will call this component again, basically. So what we'll do inside of here, we'll just below here, we'll just say comments, and then we want to pass in comments, which will be post.comments, and I think what we want to do is just wrap all this, which we're going to put in here, inside of something that only gets run when we actually have the data available. So we'll say vif post and not loading, So we'll just add a ID or something in here just so we know that that is indeed a valid post, because there is always an empty post object. So what we can also do is set this to null, and then we can say vf post. That is still working. So we pass in the comment through here, and then we also pass through an offset, which is the margin we're gonna have by default. So we'll set that to 0. And then inside of here, we'll add a div. And then, yeah, we just want to loop through them in a second. But first of all, we're just gonna give this a name, which is gonna be comments. And we want to specify the props, which is comments and the offset. And yeah, that's it for now. And then just want to loop through these. So we'll say v for index or comment index in comments. And then what we want to do is we want to have a comment component, but for now I'll just add a p tag and just check if this is working. So we'll say comment.body. Hey, and another comment. So those are that's only this one and this one, because the nested one don't get called again if there are more comments within this one, for example. So we want to have a comment component, and if there are more comments we can just call this again and increment the offset. So that's something we can already do. So we'll just say below here comments v-if comment.comments. Then we'll pass through comments again, comment.comments, and the offset is going to be a number offset plus 15. And yeah, that needs to be inside of a div Alright, so now if you take a look, we should see that all the comments get displayed. The offset isn't really being used yet, but yeah, we'll look at that in a second. So for now, I'm just gonna add the add a class to this. Class is card, and yeah, then I'll add another class, which is conditional class. I'll say first offset 0. So now if I take a look at this one, it should say first. Alright, that works. And yeah, so now we need to create our comment component, and yeah, let's create our comment component. I think this class might be useless. I don't think we're going to use it, so for now I'll just remove it. I don't really think we need it that bad, so I thought we could do something nice with that, but yeah, never mind. So we'll add a script, and yeah, so in here we also need to add some stuff. So this one is also going to receive properties. So this one's going to be named comment. Gonna receive properties. Gonna receive the comment and the offset. It's going to have a data property, because in here we also want to have a is creating, which will check if it's creating or not, but yeah, we'll get to that later. So inside of our template, what we want to do, we'll just add a div, and then we'll add some styling. Here we're gonna apply that offset margin, so we'll say margin left offset plus pixels, and then we'll add a class of comment. Alright, so in here we want to maybe just have a name or something posted by an anonymous user, because we can't even log in, so it's 1 hour ago, which we need to fill in later. I'm gonna add the comment.body in here. Yeah, so let's check that out. Actually, we still need to import that in here. Import comments from comment. Instead of this, we'll say comment and offset so this is inside of the comments. So we want to add a comment, pass in the comment. So you have an error, can't read property title of null at the post. Custom element comment is not recognized, so we need to register it here, I think. Alright, so now it's working. So if we just check, this is the first one we have, only we have the wrong offset. Alright, so that's better. So I think what I want to do is I want to add some styling. So I'll just add something to the card, remove the box shadow, margin top of 10 pixels. I want to set the overflow X to auto, overflow Y to auto. So I think we could actually use that, because I want to give the first reply. I do actually want to maybe give that a class of first. So offset so if this is a card and it's the first one, padding 10 pixels, and I'm actually going to copy the box shadow, the default box shadow. So that is going to be in here. Then we'll copy this, add that in here. Alright, so I think that looks better. So we can see that those are nicely nested. And what I now want to do is I want to add a reply button. So I'm just gonna make another component which is gonna be reply comment.view. Script, and then in the comment I'm just gonna say I'm gonna import this in a bit, and then we just want to, by default, what I'm going to do is I'm just gonna add a link in here, and I'm gonna say is replying. I'm gonna set that to false, so I don't need the href in here. I just want to make it look like a link. So what I'll do is I'll say add click is replying true, reply, and then below here we'll say if replying is true. If is replying is true, then we'll show that reply component. But for now I'm just going to say if not is replying, then we can show the link. Alright, so let's get started creating this out. So we simply just want a form in here, then we'll handle submitting it off in the next episode. So what we'll do is we'll add a div in here, which is going to be called column is 6 on tablet, is for desktop, and is 12 by default. And forgot the columns. Alright, so now we need a form without any actions yet, and I'm just going to go into my new post component and copy the text area, the field, alright, so we'll say reply oh, I'm doing this in the wrong component. Should be here. Alright, so inside of here, I'm going to say data. I'm going to get this a name first. Form, return, form, errors is empty, data is an object. Form the data body. Yeah, I think that's all good. So I also want to, I'll just check this out. So I'll import, not in this one, in the comment component, I'll import that. And then we'll just register that. And that's going to show if we are replying. See if is replying. So if I click this, Alright, this thing keeps crashing for some reason when I run it for too long. So I'll just run it again. So if I click this, you should see this reply box popping up. And yeah, now we need a button, and I think that's it for our sort of design for that thing. So what I want to do is I just want to have these on the same line. So below the text area, I want the submit button in here, so I'll create a div, which I'm going to give a class of, yeah, maybe something like bottom bar. And then I'm just going to add the submit button in here. Type submit. Going to have a class is loading form.loading. Button is primary. There's a post reply. Take a look. We'll see that that is in line, and now we just want to add some styling for that. So we'll say margin left auto, margin right 0, and then for a bottom bar, set display to flex, and margin top to 4 pixels. So yeah, I think that looks nice. If we click this, yeah, it gets submitted off, but yeah, we haven't actually cached this or done anything with this yet. So last thing I want to do in this comment component, I just want to add some more styling, or actually want to add styling. So we'll say p white space pre-wrap, so that this actually gets the correct line indentation, columns, margin top 0 pixels. And yeah, I think that's it. So now everything looks nice. So we can display our comments, and yeah, so in the next episode we'll look at how we can reply this. So we can type something in here, and then we can submit it off. Maybe we want to change this text before we wrap this up. Your reply. Alright, so yeah, like I said, in the next episode we'll submit these replies off when you hit post reply, and yeah, we'll also display the actual post in here and add a reply form on the top of here, so you can reply without a parent comment ID. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you next time. Bye.